touchdown. She hit the line on the far side, and the Rebels win.
Stop bleeding! Stop bleeding! He connects! Rebels with their first lead of the night.
And the Andover Huskies are your section champion.
Welcome to Husky Stadium. And we are here for two top-notch Northwest Suburban Conference soccer teams, as the Andover Huskies will take on the girls, the Bengals from Blaine. Blaine comes in ranked. They come in with an unblemished record. And they also have, they're going up against a Huskies team that really, their only loss is to the number one team in a 1-0 loss. As we get through and we're watching the player introductions, we'll have the national anthem afterwards.
A more hopeful dementia care system, featuring keynote speaker Dr. Dale Bredesen.
This is an unfortunately very common problem, and one that there's a tremendous amount we can do about right now. It is a much larger pandemic in terms of numbers than the COVID-19 pandemic. So if we can get people to change their behavior and think, we can all get on early prevention or earliest reversals, we really can make a huge dent in the global burden of dementia.
Are you or your family members experiencing dementia, or do you have questions? Phone 320-640-6726 or visit www.dcan-mn.org.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Andover Athletic Complex for girls high school soccer coming your way. And this will be a matchup between Andover and Blaine, Jim, that many feel probably could represent something we'd see in a section championship early in the season, but still a lot of intensity. And I think this will be a pretty evenly matched game. Extremely competitive.
Yes, this will be a great test for the Huskies. They have met 3 times in the finals in the last 7 years, the sectional finals in the last 7 years, and absolutely a good test for both teams. This Northwest Suburban Conference is stylish. It is one of the best conferences in the state for 3A, and it's really going to be a fun match.
Again, I'm Joe Rulin along with Jim Kick Childs. Andover comes in with a mark of 3-1. And meanwhile, for Blaine, they come into the mark of 3-0. For Andover, their only loss this season has come to the number one team in the state, and that was a 2-0 loss in the second game of the year up in Duluth to Rosemont. Meanwhile, a recent win for Blaine, that includes an impressive 2-0 win over Centennial. And the most recent win here for the Huskies came the way of a 13-0 win over Coon Rapids just last Wednesday. So both of these teams have been off since last Wednesday. Andover will be in the black. And again, in the white will be the Blaine Bengals. A couple of key notes to make for Blaine. 2 starters that are currently out. One, the senior captain, Maya Anderson. She's out with an ACL. And also Peyton Padilla. Peyton Padilla, and she has a shoulder injury, but both of those players were injured the first game of the season against Moundsfield. So underway, they've made some adaptations and everything else along the way, and I think they're all ready to go. But keep in mind, Andover has outscored their opponents 20-3 in terms of goals scored here early in the season, and it's a 7-0 pace in which Blaine has outscored their opponents. Again, Blaine has not allowed a goal yet this season. Controlled here at midfield and deflected a throw in. Now the way here for the Huskies. We'll get you set up with the starting lineups and everything as well here on the throw in. That's Swenson, Audrey's. Swenson down the line. Again, another throw in. 3 straight throw ins. She gets another one on the deflection. They'll pick it up and walk her way down the line. Their 4th straight throw in as well for Swenson here now near the top of the box. And here's a shot from way out. Easily handled and corralled there. And that gives us an opportunity to introduce the Blaine goalie, and that is Maddie Way. Way comes in with a record of 3-0, 23 saves, and Jim, with all shutouts, that makes for pretty easy goals against to calculate.
Yes, and she's done well. She's had some big saves, according to the coaching staff. Done a nice job with being able to control the rebounds, and as you said, not giving up a goal.
Throw down here, and now it's a controlled play now for the Huskies. They're doing a great job of rotating it around. Now they're trying to reverse field. Headed back just beyond midfield, and they'll move it on up. Down the far line here, and just trying to pursue down the other side. Here another throw in for the Huskies on the far side of the field. Huskies led in scoring by Brenna Hudson, 7 goals, 3 assists. Meanwhile, Addison Dobrats with 6 goals, 2 assists this season. Get you caught up on the Blaine top scorers. Again, one play everyone always has to watch out for is for number 10, Kendall Stadden. Number 10 is the number to watch out there because she can boom that ball, and she operates very proficiently. And she is on her way to the University of Minnesota, where she'll play soccer there next year. She is the team leader in goals, is Stadden, with 3 goals, 1 assist, and several other players with 1 goal. Again, a team for Blaine here. They have outscored their opponents 7-0 early here in the season. Thanks for joining us from the Andover Athletic Complex football field, and also along with the soccer field. Grid complex always looks so much cleaner with that new turf out there. Now trying to maneuver it around. Down line, let's quick perch through ball in an attempt to try to hit Hudson. Diffused there defensively nicely by Blaine. Blaine tries to settle the ball, and they'll move it up. Unable to get it cleared and organize it out on a control. In the middle there, trying to head at us, Cedar Jorgensen. Got a whistle, and we will get a free kick here as it is awarded to Blaine.
One thing of note, Joe, is the head coach is missing today, and very capable assistants down there, one of 26 years.
That it is. So they have, as you mentioned, just out with the virus. It sounds like he'll be back in a couple of days. Now with a possession of Schmidt. Schmidt, an explosive player. Outlets it, but then trying to reciprocate it back. Was a teammate there, unable to control, and here comes Blaine. That's disrupted by Schmidt. Schmidt sends it to the backers. And now trying to navigate by the fence down the line. That's deflected and goes and rolls out of play, awarded to Blaine on the throw-in. Starting lineups quickly for you, too, as well. In goal, as you mentioned, Maddie Way for Blaine. Meanwhile, Kendall Stadden along with Devin Torgerson, Eli Nean, Hannah Clausen, Avery Soley, followed by Josie Carlson, Sydney Sutherland, Tessa Zachman, Trista Crosby, and Abby Strasser. First corner opportunity of the game for either one of these teams, a first set piece. These are really the critical components, the set pieces for both of these squads, and let's see how Andover can execute here. Again, the first corner kick here in the opening half. Sent near the goal box, a header out. Nice play there by Stadden, and now one that goes over top of the cage and through the uprights. About 20 yards beyond the 18. This will be a goal kick, and so Blaine is able to avoid and shut down that corner kick opportunity for the Huskies. There you get a look at Maddie Way. Meanwhile, in goal for the Huskies is Haley Mao. Mao comes in with an impressive save percentage of .913 and the goals against of .73. Both of these goalies are pretty stingy. Trying to hit on the through ball there was Blaine, trying to set it up to Stadden. She can unleash a pretty powerful kick. And we are just 6 minutes in here for the first half. Thanks for joining us on this QCTV broadcast on a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Far side now, trying to rotate it. Send it the back line, and now trying to use that speed. You saw there was Nean. Huskies first to the ball, and Jorgensen, of course, also a member of the hockey team. With 2 goals, 5 assists for the Huskies this season. She'll be involved with much of the play as well. Starters for the Huskies, I'll continue with that. Haley Mao. Meanwhile, at Addison Dobrats, Addie Baumhauer, along with number 4, Brenna Hudson, as I mentioned, the leading scorer so far this season, 7 goals, 3 assists. Lydia Nordquist, followed by Audrey Swanson, number 6, Chloe Voss, and then Elizabeth Schmidt, followed by number 13, Chloe Paulo, and also Alicia Hoffman and Cedar Jorgensen. Rounds out the starters. On a heated afternoon like this, you may see a lot of substitutions just to keep those legs fresh, Jim.
Yes, absolutely. Nice job on bracketing the Husky number 4, Hudson, who had a nice breakup and was bracketed well by the defense.
Moving it right down here, nice, trying to set it inside the 18. It rolls, but not in control for Blaine. Again, Blaine coming in thus far with a mark of 3-0. This will be a pretty high-octane game, pretty competitive throughout for these two teams. Again, as Jim mentioned, it's common for these two teams to meet in the section championship, as they have so many times the past 6-7 years. But this game really comes with both teams playing well. Huskies, meanwhile, won their first game of the year up in Duluth against Duluth East. That was a 4-0 win, and their only loss so far this season came to what many feel will be probably the number 1 team throughout the season in Rosemont. Had a chance to speak with Coach Tracy Grease before the game. We'll expand on that as well, about what makes that Rosemont team so strong. A through ball attempt there did not connect. Goes right to the goalie Way, and Way sends a punt up near midfield. Redirected back, trying to work it back behind, reverse the field. Here is Blaine. They'll send a little bend pass up the line. Ended it down below. That's Sutherland. Sutherland up ahead to Josie Carlson. Schmidt puts a foot on that and directs it back to a teammate. unable to connect to that high bouncing ball that time for Andover. That was Swenson. Blaine now trying to work some flow. Both teams kind of getting a sense of how each team will kind of react. Meanwhile, you've got a team, Blaine, will be playing pretty much a 4-5-1 throughout this match as they continue to move it. Now up the far side, trying to find a seam, Jim, but it's Huskies are so quick and explosive, both offensively and defensively, that they close those gaps.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of really just taking the play to Blaine. You know, they've really done a nice job of manning up on number 10, Stratton, and really has not given her much breathing room.
Good give and go, but just couldn't connect. Better receive the pass defensively for the Huskies was Swenson, but she sends it out. It'll be a throw in here, and some quick substitutions coming in here. Looks like for Blaine in is Carly Anderson. The throw in taken here by Soley. She'll get another chance here, and these components, as we are now 10 minutes into the first half, you kind of see how, if it's done well, you can really capitalize on some of these set pieces. Here's a shot, a missile just wide. And there you get a good example on display. It was that power leg of Stadden. She can put it in the net from just about anywhere, perhaps the parking lot even.
Yeah, she turned around and one time that right past the upper left 90. So.
Trying to hit that upper 90 that time, but again just missed. But now I'll move up for the Huskies as they try to work on transition here. Give and go back, that's Hoffman. Just missed on that far wing trying to connect.
See how dangerous she is. You don't want to give it to her any closer, Stratton any closer than outside that 25.
Quick substitution in here, big in and out. Number 4 comes out here, 4. 21 goes in. Addie Stadden. Stadden sisters now in. A header back up near midfield. That'll be settled. Settled and then brought along. Here's Jorgensen. She's involved a lot of the time in the formula here for the Huskies. 3-1 for the Huskies, and they'd like to get the upper hand here. We'll talk about it a little bit more as well. Jim kind of throughout the wake of this match, but you have a plethora of teams already from the Northwest Suburban Conference that really represent the top 10 teams in the state. And I got to think if Andover gets a win here today, that certainly would put them in the top 10 as well, where they're used to being seen and used to, many of their successes of the teams in the past with Greece. They've always been in that top 10 ranking.
Yeah, this is a good kind of dipstick of where you're going to find out you're going to end up seeded for Section 7, and that seeding is going to be important too, because you're going to want to make sure that you're playing Blaine towards the end rather than.
There's a corner opportunity again, the second of the game. Jorgensen will go over to take this corner kick. Let's see how the Huskies can execute. I know Pete Hayes, head coach at Anoka, where he won at least 3 state championships. He'll correct me by text if it's 4. There's a good quick drop pass. Now a give and go back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen wants to unleash a shot, but she tried to pass it ahead near the goal box, and it's redirected back out. Now in control. You get a look there. That's Stadden. Kendall.
That's
trying to jump a pass here on the roof and almost created a 2-on-1 opportunity and then cleared and sent out of play. That was done by number 5 and Nordquist. Quick throw in again and trying to get it on to transition. And you can see the quick, fast play that both of these teams prefer.
It's a hot day too. You're going to wonder how long until we see some cramps possibly set in. Granted, it's the 4th game of the season for Blaine, 5th for Andover.
Well, not only on the play, but also for the announcers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I know I found myself cramping up in that Champlain Park football game last week, and Steve Thompson had no sympathy for that. Another throw-in opportunity here.
Well, it's important you hydrate, Joe.
Sully looks to be kind of their designated thrower for this Blaine squad, trying to maneuver it and find a way, and there's Stadden with a chance to unleash one. She didn't catch all of it, and there is Mao coming up with that low save. She didn't quite catch it all, but she settled that ball so quickly, and that's that talent, that skill level, being able to settle it and get your body in a position to kind of unleash a shot. No score still underway here in the first half. This is drifting all the way back to way, and no pun intended, and it's kicked back up near midfield, but now making a move. Here comes a run for the Huskies. A quick 2-on-1 shot. Goal! Back of the net as it rolls. A quick passing. Touch passes inside the 18, and a nice left foot punch. That goal, I believe, is going to be credited to number 15, Hoffman. We'll get a confirmation for Hoffman. That's her first goal of the season.
And Joe, you're right. It is Hoffman with the goal, and Hudson with the assist.
And I mean, just how quickly that, you can see here on the replay, that it just evolved so quickly.
Yeah.
Some great one-touch passing. They had control. Tough to chase. They turned it over, did Blaine, inside the 18. That is many times lethal, but they were able to punch it in.
And Madison Way was kind of just stuck in no man's land or no keeper's land, trying to figure out whether which Husky to take.
Now a run of their own. Here comes Blaine, trying to even this match up. 1-0 lead for Andover. First goal of the season for Alicia Hoffman.
And first goal given up by Madison Way.
Good point.
2 firsts. In for the Huskies is Dana Stocky, Morgan Kniffley, and Skyland Jorgensen. They just jumped in on the goal. It looks like we'll also have Lauren Wright come in as well.
Free kick here, and who better to have it? No one better to have it than Kendall Stadden. 3 goals so far this season. She leads the squad for Blaine, kicking from about the 32-yard line. Fence is set. Keep an eye on any backdoor opportunities, on any deflections for Blaine. Sends it low. Good tactic there as they got to about the top of the 18, right at the 18, and it was redirected back to midfield. And now Blaine will work the perimeter. See there. Continuing to hit, but again, a great job of disrupting. A race to the ball ensues here. Here comes Andover with a blast shot. An initial save is made, and it rolls off of Way and in. That was a power shot. Just eventually not even getting to the back of the net. But a hard pop. And Jorgensen connects on that as she got a quick breakaway and an opportunity and took advantage of it. And Jorgensen will light the lamp there.
Brenna Hudson gets her second assist of the game. And Madison Way made the initial stop, and it was just enough spin that it got rolled past the goal line. And there's nothing worse than a goalkeeper watching that ball roll past you at what you think is an inch at a time, an inch, very slow pace.
But you know, hey, it comes from just sometimes with soccer, it comes from these what seem to be innocent plays, ominous situations, or it's something that just transpires, and boom, a great scoring opportunity evolves. The Huskies have had 2, and they've taken advantage of both of them on the goals again.
You know, this game is 90 minutes, but this match is 90 minutes. But I'll tell you right now, Andover is the better team so far, not only on the scoreboard, but in just about all phases.
Blaine now will kick it off. Blaine, as I mentioned, had not allowed a goal yet this season, and they've given up 2 here as we are coming up on, we're in the midway mark here of this first half. So plenty of time. The good news for Blaine is there's a chance for them to tie and come back. Plenty of time ahead of them, but nonetheless, you want to see what corrections they're going to have to make, and that's what also when it comes to soccer, is the adjustments that they make in formations, strategies at half. Trying to weave through the defense, unable to do so. It's redirected back out and now controlled by Blaine and Haley Hughes. Sends it down. There's Stadden trying to work her way through. Directed back out to the far side of the field. Defense leaves it out. Quick touch pass and a little pop to it that time by Hudson. As you mentioned, Hudson has 2 assists already, Jim. As we have 20 minutes coming up on, about 20 minutes remaining here in the first half. Quick substitution now coming in. Number 12 is Bella Schrader. And Ellie Fields.
The only sophomore Ellie Fields will take post on defense.
Blaine now on their end, trying to guide it out of their end. They hate to give it up like they did for that first goal. Now, but again, was up just inside the 18. The Huskies punched it home from there. The first goal of the season, tallied by Alicia Hoffman. The goal by Jorgensen, also her first. Her sister, Cedar, has 2 goals this season. Now Blaine walks it down. To Stadden. Stadden will try to work her way through a couple of Husky players. Now sends it back up, and here's a chance. Sends a loft in the air, and first to the ball, a little nudge from the back, just at the dinner table there, and sends the Blaine player down. Foul's whistled there, and it'll be a throw-in, or it'll be a free kick, I believe. Yes, a free kick for Blaine. Blaine getting ready to substitute in 3 players, and for Andover, a couple of more themselves as they try to keep the troops somewhat free and fresh, as they are on this turf at about 82 degrees. This is what my phone had indicated at the start of this matchup. So Blaine trying to control, but you know, Huskies are doing a great job of not only disrupting the play, but being first to the ball. Jorgensen here. Drops it. Puts it down the line, back in. Some new substitutions, as you mentioned. Bella Schrader is in. She directed it down now. Back in is Dobratz. Hudson will come out, so top 2 scorers there. We'll take the bench and get some air, some soda, a little bit of hydration, and finally now Blaine. Let's see what they can do. Stadden tries to work it along the line, and right there working that wall. Nice defensive play there by Fields. Throw-in opportunity. Again, doing the honors here will be Soley. Avery Soley. Overplaying that time a bit with Newby. Deflected out, and then it'll be awarded to Andover on the throw-in. Schrader on this throw-in, and at midfield a whistle. And they'll get a free kick awarded to the Bengals.
Yeah, Skylar Johnson got a little elbow up and not permitted.
On down, looking a chance there. Oh, good defensive play together and close that gap for Andover.
Yeah, Stadden with a back heel to the winger there.
There's a leash shot there right on, in a good spot for Mao as she turned and fired. She'll do it quickly. settled that ball, turned and fired.
Punts out to midfield. It is settled. Andover takes control, gets it up, and pass is punched through. Two giving chase by Andover.
Just inside the 18 now as Way sends it upfield. Not far enough as Andover again wins that race and gets a nudge whistle there as Lauren Wright, who made a nice defensive play just moments ago in the own end to seal off a path there for one of the Blaine players. And it's going to be a free kick now for this Blaine squad. All the shots on goal, 2 is what I've counted so far, have come the way of Stadden. She is certainly the key formula here for this Blaine, but she makes a lot of these other players that much better as well, as the good athletes are doing. So that rolled off the foot, out of play, throw in for the Huskies. Coach Tracy Grease had just said, hey, the kids are excited to be back on the field this season, and they certainly have more depth and experience than 2021. They're led by 3 seniors and definitely put their time in the offseason.
One thing I love to hear from coaches is that they feel that their squad is coachable all the way up and down, and that it's coachable. And that was one thing that Coach Grease had mentioned.
Moving it up just beyond midfield, through ball. It's going to be a race. Nice there to get to diffuse that, but seeing some great speed by Dobrats. Even when you're there defensively, you try to seal them off, and Blaine did a good job there, but there's still that pressure of sustaining that possession of the ball when you can, feel that offensive player also, a midfielder right on your back. So a kick in here, not quite to the 18, deflected back out, and now here comes Blaine on the transition. Newby had it momentarily. Good job by the Huskies. They are in the right spot. Tried a quick perch through ball that time, and it rolls right to Wade.
I like the freshman Dobrats and her physicality out there. She's not afraid of getting shoulder to shoulder with someone.
Header by Blaine. That was Stadden. Back first for the Huskies is Wright. She puts back onto the foot of Mao. Mao. Talk more about the performance and how well she's done. Again, goals against of .73. Comes in with 21 saves, has allowed just 2 goals. Those 2 goals came against Rosemount. Still the number one ranked team in the state. And according to Coach Grease, it's probably where they'll remain most of the year, since they have a wealth of talent, some good size.
Skilled and athletic is I think the way to look at them. Rosemont.
Clausen now re-enters. Clausen in now, Hannah Clausen. Getting set here as another substitution here for Blaine. Walraven as well. Keep in mind also, hey, just again, 2 of the starters, Maya Anderson, she's out for the season for Blaine. Another that they'll be missing the services from is Peyton Padilla. With the shoulder. Scott Zachman, again, he could not be here tonight, but here's a run starting down the field, trying to step in front and stop that runaway train. Here's Stadden trying to quick fire, put a toe on it. Nicely played there defensively for the Huskies. way to keep the position, footwork. The last thing you want to do is trip when you're coming inside the box. Now on the other end, a trip all the way back. Defensively gets there first in front of the goal, and we're looking to see if that was an induced trip. If we'll see a whistle there, but we will get a, is it a throw-in or is it a corner ball? We'll see here in a minute.
Yeah,
Here's another look as Way comes out.
She played the ball. Nice play by Way.
But again, there you see just more of that continued speed. That was Schrader, who made that, had a scoring opportunity there, but diffused by outstanding play in goal by Way. Now Huskies trying to operate around near the top of the 18, and it's sent high in the air, and now here's a chance as Blaine will try to settle. They cannot. It went off Blaine, so it'll be awarded a throw-in here for Andover. The 2 goals, Andover now has outscored their opponents 22-3, a collision near the corner there, but
no call.
They are going to have it as a goal kick. Collision involving Hudson and a couple of the Blaine players. Coach Grease would like to discussion, and I
think it's just ask some parents to not necessarily get on the referee.
The official came out and went to Coach Grease and asked her to kind of control perhaps someone in that crowd. And with the headset here, I could hear just a little bit, but
yeah,
much so. But anyway, it's nonetheless. Not sure if they've been asked to leave.
Maybe what.
Again, they talked about it at the beginning of the game here with the lack of officials and just trying to really have some increased growth in that area. So they want respectful. Those intends to respect the officials. They are out here. Blaine now has to respect the play that they're seeing from the Huskies. Jorgensen tries to jump that pass, now drops it to the side and moves it up along the near side. Kicks it more. Now here comes Blaine on a run. Blaine trying to move Sutherland. There's a left foot kick just off the mark that time. Getting in front, that was a key component with Stadden. Kendall Stadden hasn't been able to get that clear avenue to really unleash it. We saw it once.
Yeah.
And she tried to go upper 90.
Yeah, it was a turnaround, beautiful shot, but just missed it. Lydia Norquist has done just an outstanding job of marking Stadden, and we saw it on a good defensive play on their last rush, and that one, Norquist was right on her too.
But defensively, that's the key, is getting the 3 back lines back there defensively and not allowing those open spots, because if she's wide open on that breakaway, she can put a laser just about anywhere she wants on demand. So Mao, I'm sure, grateful for the defense in front of her as well. Now here comes another run. Far side. Directed, and the rebound after the deflection. It's Kendall Stadden on the side. Gets around 1, now tries to get around a 3rd, and now works her way in close and puts it out, and a good job of coming out and making a kick save. Trying to pick up on the rebound was Sutherland, and to no avail. Now redirected back in by Crosby, but the Huskies now have possession, and Jorgensen and Andover on the run. Making a push. Here's a rush. Moving it. And a quick one-timer shot attempt there was deflected. Inside the 18 was Dobrats looking for that opportunity, and now it's sent out of play, and the Huskies will get the throw it.
What an individual effort by Stadden to go through 4 Husky defenders, still get off a shot like they were standing still. I can see the talents with her.
I'll age myself, but it reminded me of an old State Farm insurance commercial they used to show on the NFL. The guy would navigate through all of the different accidents or issues, and there was the State Farm agent getting there. Anyway, I'll let it go. Back in now for Blaine, number 20. There's Carly Anderson taking a breather. I'm sure that'll be as brief as it can be for Kendall Stadden, as we have about 7 minutes to go. Coming up on 7 remaining here in the first half. Andover has put up 2. Andover has a 2-0 lead.
And they've had some really good scoring opportunities.
And, Andover's been able to get, Blaine on that transition. Or they've had Blaine that's turned it over inside the 18. This is deflected on a missed header and all the way back now. And Baumhauer sends that near the bleachers, and a throw-in awarded here for the Blaine Bengals. Tina Bross is the interim coach today for Blaine, as Coach Scott out for maybe a couple more days. Now a deflection off the foot by Blaine, and that's going to give the Huskies some good position on the throw-in.
Well, it's great that they, a year ago they'd probably have to shut down the program with some of the stuff that happens, but it's good to see still able to perform with some of the stuff happening.
Kind of a quick outside foot pass there attempted by Blaine, and you can see, hey, the pace of the game certainly has been favoring the Huskies. The speed, and there's a through ball on the far side, put right on the foot. Jorgensen unleashes a shot there, and that goes over the top. A nice setup, good pass right in stride. May have been wrong on who pulled the trigger on that shot, but it was on the far side. Get at it. So, beautiful afternoon. Well, makes for even a splendid evening here at Andover Athletic Complex. Great to have you here. Jumping the pass. Andover, once again, I mean, they are constantly being first to the ball.
Yep.
And getting out in front, moving those feet, being active and athletic. Huskies send it back. Now move it along there. And that's Hudson. Baumhauer. Now Baumhauer forced all the way back, and she is shadowed there. That was by Newby. Now a kick back with, again, Newby applying some good pressure. Trying to turn the momentum here as Blaine, and Newby is leading it as she's trying to put the Huskies on their heels, which is how the Huskies have scored 2 goals against Blaine already. A free kick awarded here for Blaine, and
the fouls absolutely favor the Huskies, as they have committed much more, but I think she's asking for, looks like we're going to have a yellow card, huh?
they have been issued a yellow.
That's Chloe Voss.
Lauren Wright back in. Voss is out. She was issued the yellow. Well, thanks for joining us here on this QCTV sports presentation. With 4:30 remaining here in the first half, it's Andover has jumped out to a 2-0 lead. Deflection here inside the 18, battling there, and they're going to say offside.
So, Joe, you're well versed in soccer. Do you change any tactic for the Huskies during halftime? I mean, they have been extremely aggressive and really much more physical than the Bengals.
They have, and the Huskies have been putting so much pressure, but the one turnover that Blaine had was really unnecessary inside the 18. It's just maybe a little too passive on the outlet pass, and the Huskies, I think they see the speed of the game with Andover. Again, a team that put up a 13-0 win over Coon Rapids their last time out last Wednesday for Andover. Not an impressive outing. Again, it was a 2-0 win for Blaine over what is usually a very difficult, challenging Centennial squad. In fact, they're one of the teams that seem like as the season gets longer, they get that much better and stronger. They get their team together, and there's a deflection inside the 8. Race to it ensues here. Mao comes in and is still loose. She didn't quite come out as strong there that time, and it deflected just beyond the goal. As still, it's Blaine looking for their first corner kick, and they have yet to get just that. So their pressure has come in kind of spurts and not sustained. But Mao came out amongst all of that confusion. Mao on the goal kick. Up around the 30, Joe Rulin along with Jim Kick Childs. And Huskies here with 2.5 to go are really going to, they could get a third goal here. That hits the morale standpoint. So if anything, Blaine looking to cut into this deficit. In fact, cut it in half if they can. But even on some of these long kicks that are coming down, you like to see that if you're Andover, because you're chasing them and moving that momentum down. Whistle here, and we're going to get foul, and the free kick will be awarded to Blaine. Blaine has had wins over Moundsview, 3-0. And they've had a win over Eastridge as well. That was 2-0. And of course, the win over Centennial, that's put them at 3-0. Again, the 2 goals that Andover has scored, Jim, the first goals that Blaine has allowed this whole season.
Yeah, Hoffman and Sky Jorgensen both tallying here in the first half.
Throw in with 1.5 minutes to go. Race to the ball ensues there. Stadden looks like she will be sitting for the half. She came out with about 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in that first half. Thought they might put her out there for at least maybe a couple minutes here in case there's a set piece they want to set up or use that power leg on a free kick. A through ball there just misses on the connect. Awarded back to Blaine. Set there, so 40 seconds remaining. Getting set on the throw in here for Blaine. And you mentioned, Jim, these two teams are very familiar with one another when it comes to the section finals. Through ball here, now collected, gathered, nicely played that time. A great job there defensively for Andover. Nordquist again gets set here, just controlling, settles the ball, and that'll take us to the half at midfield. And Andover will take a 2-0 lead over the Blaine Bengals. Here at half, both teams just one loss between them. Andover looking to move to a record of 4-1. Meanwhile, Blaine, they're trying to keep their record perfect on the season at 3-0. More to come. 2 goals for the Huskies in that first half. First goal scored by Alicia Hoffman, her first of the year, and the assist on that one to Hudson. Meanwhile, the second goal was scored by Sky Jorgensen. The assist on that goal as well went to Brenna Hudson. We are at half. A 2-0 lead for Andover over Blaine. Will return for the second half here on QCTV in a moment.
Anoka County Brotherhood Council, also known as ACBC Food Shelf, is a community-based organization located in Anoka County, serving over 10,000 families per year. We have been providing our neighbors with food, clothing, and resources for over 50 years. Providing food to the community is our largest program, and we do this through a food shelf, a grocery delivery program for those who are homebound, and special food distributions available throughout the year. We value our participants' time and have appointments available online and by phone to ensure quick services, making it easier for those with tight schedules and transportation difficulties. The experience of the shopper is important to us, and we take great care in making sure our food shelf market is well stocked, especially with fresh and healthy food items, which can be more expensive for those on tight budgets. We want our space to feel like a grocery store, and we want our shoppers to feel they are cared for. When someone visits us, they will also have access to our family advocate who can provide assistance in navigation with other resources and partnerships. We also have a clothing closet which has clothing and household items for the entire family, a birthday bag program where parents can select age-appropriate theme bags for children up to age 18, and for low-income adults ages 60 plus, we are the only food shelf in Minnesota selected as a CSFP food provider, providing the opportunity for extra food items and nutrition education. We are blessed to be in such a great community that supports our work with volunteers, food donations, cash donations, and just sharing our message. We thank you for your support.
Yes, hi, I'm the owner of White Rabbit Kitchen, me and my wife Tammy. To make a long story short, because of the pandemic, I lost my corporate culinary position. And my wife Tammy and I were working through that summer of 2020 where I was basically home every day, cooking food at home and doing different things to kind of keep myself busy. By the end of the summer, we had kind of saw the writing on the wall that this previous job wasn't going to come back anytime soon. So we kind of collectively said, you know what, let's do this, and started doing deep dive research on getting a food truck business started. And it happened relatively quickly. We ended up purchasing and having a food truck or trailer built from scratch, and it was done at in November of 2020. And we kind of went off and running and worked through that winter, and next thing you know, here we are. So kind of crazy, happened pretty fast. I never would have guessed that in the course of, under 2 years, we'd go from just starting a food truck to owning a restaurant. So, but it's been awesome. We knew we wanted to smoke meats. I come from a background of where I rotate the menus quite a bit, sometimes even on a daily basis. That was just where my culinary background was. So we knew we wanted to be flexible and do different things. We didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves to one cuisine or doing one thing. But I did want to do some smoked meats. Not barbecue per se, but just feature smoked meats in like an American bistro style menu. So sandwiches, soups, salads, grain bowls, all that fun stuff. And so the name White Rabbit comes from the fact when I was a kid and in Scouts, the Scoutmaster would tell us when the smoke would get in our eyes, close your eyes and say, I love white rabbits, I love white rabbits, and the smoke would go away. And so we kind of thought, well, it's kind of a fun little play on the smoke thing without necessarily calling it Rob's Barbecue or whatever, since we didn't want that stigma of being a barbecue restaurant. Great feedback from both. I think the city was very excited to have us. Just obviously another option because they hear feedback from the community about wanting different resources, restaurants, places to go, different retail. So they were excited to have us open. And then also tons of just great feedback from the customers about just other options. We think we fill that void of kind of between where like a bar grill or maybe like a fast food. We kind of touch a totally different dimension where people can come in and sit down and have a different dining experience, maybe without the TVs and that kind of thing, maybe a little more chill environment, but higher quality food than you're going to get at some of the other fast casual restaurants. Much more chef-driven, culinary-focused dishes without being too high-end, where people can kind of find a nice price point, a nice medium in there. The food truck is just ever evolving. It's fun. We do different things. Like I said, one day could be totally separate from the next day at any given event. We like to switch it up based on, the type of event, the type of customers that are going to be there, where it's at, the time of the year, utilizing, you know, the ingredients that make sense during that season. And then we will be planning on doing the same thing at the restaurant as well.
Right on. Thank you. You bet. You always do so great. Thank you.
I mean, I love getting when the customer gets served, and this happens a lot at the food truck and at the restaurant, when they get served and they eat their food and they specifically come back up to tell me and or the staff how great their food was. I mean, especially when we roll out new menu items and they come back and they're like, that needs to be on the menu every day. That one and 1A is just when I get to dedicate myself to creating new recipes. Obviously, that's kind of where this whole thing spurned from, right? It's just love working with food. So when I get the time, especially the quiet time in the morning, to just start working on the next recipe, that's my happy place for sure. I think we do a great job of offering menu items that are recognizable, but we put a nice twist on them. So, you know, throughout the years of working with certain ingredients and different menu items, I think this is kind of a culmination of all that. And so I really think if people want to come up and try something, like I said, that they've seen on a menu before, like everybody's seen a club sandwich on a menu before, or like a French dip or something, but we take that extra step to go from good to great, and that's kind of our philosophy here is just come in and try our food and have a great dining experience.
On any given night in Minnesota, 6,000 young people are without a home. They're sleeping in their cars, couch hopping, or struggling to survive on the streets. Hope for Youth is a 501c3 nonprofit organization in Anoka County that helps young people ages 16 to 24 who are experiencing homelessness in the northern Twin Cities metro area. Who is Hope for Youth? Hope for Youth helps young people find safe and stable housing. Hope for Youth meets young people where they are in the community with real-time assistance. Hope for Youth collaborates with community service providers whose mission is also to support homelessness prevention. Hope for Youth assists young people with education and employment opportunities that create career pathways. Hope for Youth's mission is providing pathways to end youth homelessness. Our vision is to have all youth feel safe, valued, and supported while reaching their full potential. Thank you to those who have supported our mission with your time, your talent, testimony, and treasure. Please connect with us if you'd like to volunteer, donate items, or make a financial contribution. Your investment is changing lives. Connect with us through our website at hopeforyouthmn.org or simply call us at 763-323-2066.
Impact Services Meals on Wheels and More in Anoka County offers meals throughout all of Anoka County and Champlin. Meals on Wheels provides nutritious hot meals Monday through Friday with weekend options. Who can get Meals on Wheels? We're here for anyone who can benefit from home-delivered meals with a focus on older adults and people with disabilities. Meals on Wheels is great if you could use help cooking or need a break from doing it, you're recovering from an illness or injury, getting out to purchase food is difficult. With your tax-deductible gift to Impact Services, Meals on Wheels, every $5 donated provides a hot, nutritious meal delivered to a neighbor in need in Anoka County and Champlin. Impact Services Meals on Wheels is a volunteer-driven organization. We have meal pickup sites in Anoka, Coon Rapids, East Bethel, Lino Lakes, and Fridley. Please keep in mind that if your company offers volunteer hours, we need drivers. The commitment is as it works for your schedule. It's a great way to spend your lunch. For more information, go to www.impactservicesmn.org.
Do you remember your first bike? Do
Welcome back for second half play of this QCTV sports presentation. I'm Joe Rulin along with Jim Kick Childs. And Jim, that's a 2-0 lead for the Huskies. A couple of goals, a miscue defensively inside the 18 for Blaine cost him that time. And burying that back of the net was Hoffman. Meanwhile, the second opportunity was purely based on a great speed opportunity as Jorgensen, Sky, broke in and take a look, and she made the initial save, did Wade, but anyway, deflected past and beyond. Let's take a look real quickly here. We talked about the 3A and just how tough this is and how the Northwest Suburban Conference is really well represented. Hopefully Andover, if they capture the win today, they could probably be in the top 10. But you're looking at Rosemont, and that's the only loss this season for Andover. It's come to Rosemont. Second is Edina, Stillwater, Wayzata. Then you see Blaine, who's here tonight, number 5 is Blaine. 6 is Centennial. Blaine just defeated Centennial last Wednesday, followed by Minnetonka. There's Maple Grove, 8. And then rounding it out is Champlain Park, who we'll see next week. Champlain Park is currently at number 10. So thanks for that, Ryan, back at the studio. Appreciate that. We got Anna and TJ with us shooting the camera. Great work. Great to have them here, and we are ready for second half play. Let's see what kind of adjustments we'll see here. And it was Blaine who really came out in the formation of a 4-5-1 to begin with. But I think they're going to try to, obviously pick that pace of the game up just a little bit more and hold possession, Jim, as we begin the second half here. Blaine, again, ranked as number 5 team in Class 3A, taking on the Huskies. Blaine comes in with that perfect record, 3-0. They had not allowed any goals, Jim, before tonight.
No,
and they've surrendered 2 to the Huskies, and the Huskies with a record of 3-1.
Yeah, Hoffman and Sky Jorgensen both scored, assisted by Hudson on both of them. And really, some of the stats from the first half was 8 fouls on the Huskies, 0 on Blaine. And the Huskies are just really hustling and being a little bit more physical than Blaine. It's showing in fouls, but it's also showing in score.
Shots on goal, 3 aside for both squads. Is he going to get a look here as they are going to award Blaine with a throw-in. And they'll see how they can try to find a way to get Stadden freed up as well. Either just outside the 18 or in the 18. But the Huskies have done a great job of really triangulating around her anytime she does have possession, because she has got a boom kick. And she's also a good physical player, good speed, which is the reason she'll be playing soccer next year for the University of Minnesota.
Yeah, we saw once late in the first half, right before she got pulled, where she weaved her way around with some nice delicate moves around 4, and then bowled her way towards the goal, and just great save by Mao.
Free kick here, gets to the 18, header back out, race there ensues now, and Blaine has drifted all the way back into their end, and there's Way setting it back up on the near side of the field. Sending it, moving it up ahead there is Crosby. Stadden just misses. Good defensive play there. Dropped back rather subtly by Nordquist. That goes to Mao. Mao reverses field. And now you're seeing pressure coming down inside by Blaine. Blaine now inside. Dangerous opportunity here. Stadden trying to take the shot. She goes down, and we're going to see if there's going to be a penalty kick. Yes, there will be a penalty kick. It was a case, maybe they were just a little too subtle, Huskies, at that point. Put it right there, and then whistled for that penalty would be Andover, as Stadden was taken down. And who better to execute this penalty kick than Kendall Stadden?
Well, Norquist did everything she could. She was in a no-win situation there, and she's played very, very well today.
Stadden here now, a chance to cut this deficit in half for Blaine. Kendall Stadden approaches the ball, buries it lower. The lower 90 on that left side. So, goal for Blaine. They cut into it. They come out early, kind of changed that philosophy, and they really sent the ball down deep and then really kind of clamped in. For Stadden, she gets the penalty, the penalty kick in that goal, and that's her 4th goal of the season. First here tonight. It's a 2-1 lead now for Andover as Blaine has jumped their way into the scoring category. But again, that all kind of evolved from a different change strategy-wise coming out that second half. And again, probably getting it from doing it without their head coach as well. Here's a chance. Move it in. Huskies now a chance. Oh, at the goal box there. It's chipped out by Blaine. A dangerous opportunity, as I mentioned. Scott Zachman at home for this Blaine squad, normally the head coach. Drifted out. Andover trying to settle that ball and get it back and put some more pressure in. Blaine avoided a mishap there, but Andover sets it up. Far side here is Palo. Palo, number 13. A left foot kick there by Nordquist. Sends it back upfield on the deflection. Now here comes Jorgensen. Side kick here. He redirects it back up high in the air, and Schmidt has it there. Elizabeth Schmidt sends it across the field. Mini kind of scissors kick there to reverse it, send it over. And Blaine now tries to send it down the line. They send it down the line and over the line. That's going to be a throw in for Andover. Andover looking to reciprocate a goal here early in the second half as Blaine just struck on a penalty kick. Getting the 4th goal of the season for Stadden.
Yeah, Andover needs to keep doing what they're doing. They put the pressure on. You know, a defensive lapse of passing it back into the center with caused that penalty kick.
Stadden trying to power her way down the far line, and it's kicked back near midfield, and now Blaine resets. They'll reverse the field. And now work it here on the near side. See if they can find an avenue there. Good out of nowhere. So a burst of speed there by Dobrats to disrupt play. And now it goes off of Blaine. The throw-in awarded to Andover. Down the line it goes. There's Dobrats again. She goes down. Play on there. And there's a little push in the back just outside the 18 as a Blaine player goes down. Throw in now coming the way of Voss. Voss throw in just inside the 18. Looks to capitalize. Kicks it off. High kick settled by Dobrat. She's back down, winding up, trying to set a one-timer kick. Outside the 18 was Andover. Deflects high. This one deflected high. Bounces right there. And pushing the back. Hudson, as she sent one of the Blaine players down, and the whistle will get the ball on a free kick for Blaine. So you can tell that intensity really starting to pick up.
Yes, absolutely. It is. You can hear the ratchet go.
There's Way. She moves it out, but more pressure. Dobrats. Energy, constant energy. She's involved up front. Really just disrupts that flow of any easy passes up, and as a result, it goes off of one of the Blaine players, and a throw in for Andover. Far side of the field now. Trying to find an avenue there. It's poked and kick checked away there, but now back on the foot for Dobrats. Dobrats tries to navigate around, and it's back on the foot here of Stadden. Stadden waiting for a couple of players to get out in front. Puts it on the foot. Couple of good passes there, and she was going to... Stadden really wanted them to try to send it deep into the corner, and I think they were going to try to pass it back to her, but that first goal resulted from Blaine sending it deep into the corner and then doing some battle. Far side of the field, they're going to say that that ball eluded the line out of bounds, and a throw in for Blaine back the other way. Just underway here is second half, 7 minutes in. This 40-minute half, it's a 2-1 lead for the Andover Huskies. They're taking on Blaine. Blaine came in with a record of 3-0 and currently ranked number 5 in the state. Through ball, down low. Blaine gets there first. To the corner. Stepping it up here. A charge coming in that time by Sutherland, and the crowd cheers on the call by the official. Free kick there for Andover. 32 minutes remaining here, and Blaine takes it to the corner here. Eludes one defender. Now a left foot kick, trying to put it on the doorstep for a cutting Stadden, but there's Mao. Takes a step into that ball and alleviates that pressure. Mao with the punt in the air to about the 40. Not much wind here on the field today. It's a beautiful afternoon. A lot of sun. Gotta love that in September. Ball is out. Awarded to Blaine. Some substitutions quickly coming in here for Blaine. That includes number 9 in Ellie Nean, who started the game. And I believe I saw Newby coming in as well, along with Walraven. With it now is Sutherland. Throws it in. Stadden, a lot of that offense kind of evolves around Stadden in a way that she can kind of seal off any defender on that throw-in, Jim, and she does a good job of trying to, it's almost like that triangle offense. Goes through the center, kicks it off in basketball anyway, and there's a header sent right back out by the Huskies. A header here, an exchange of headers, and now on the foot of Andover.
Well, the Huskies on defense just have done a great job of marking Stadden. Every time you look at her, she doesn't have a lot of room. She's had to really take some efforts to be able to get a shot off.
Schmidt there. Sends it across the way. Elizabeth Schmidt now down the line, and a race ensues there. To the corner. Good stop. Sent it up around the 18, making a charge there was Andover, and it's sent back out. Elizabeth Schmidt now drops it. Palo back to Schmidt near midfield with 10 minutes into the second half, and Andover with a 2-1 lead. They led 2-0 at half, and trying to increase their record to improve it to 4-1, and trying to put a blemish on that record for Blaine, who came in with a record of 3-0. Throw-in awarded. I thought that was going to go to Blaine. I think so did Stadden.
Yeah, the referee. Oh, it's a kick. Actually, it's a free kick.
They'll give it a free kick. Waiting for a chance and a whistle to come in also. It's Cradavella. Couple of headers. Now an exchange near the 20. Moving it up to the 40 now. A lot of dribbling there. Sometimes that's a lot easier to diffuse as a defender. That one-touch passing that we saw from Andover in that first half. Tough to catch up to, tough to track, tough to even trap for that as well. But Blaine now has it in their end. They'll start it upfield. Nean has it. Sends it up. Now redirected it ahead of Jorgensen, Cedar Jorgensen. Cross midfield, through ball. They were trying to attack. Good head block that time by Nordquist. She's just so consistent and strong back there. And Lydia Nordquist.
She would be called a flatliner. No panic.
No, just calm and always in that right spot. Sutherland sends a foot all the way up, chips it back over the midfield, and now here's a chance. Nope, it's kicked back by Blaine. Sutherland now takes it on the near line here, sends it to Stadden. Stadden looking for an eye, but thought maybe a teammate there was going to do some cutting. And she veered off the other way. That was Walraven she was looking for, taking a seat. Meanwhile, in the meantime, is Carly Anderson. Praterville is on. Now here's some traffic inside the 18. Getting deep. Stadden comes in with some pressure. The Huskies send it out of play. This will result in a throw-in for this Blaine. In terms of set pieces, you've certainly seen the Huskies, and you know, more specific in terms of the set pieces, those corner kicks. Blaine has yet to have an opportunity, but here's as close that they'll get right now, and almost the corner. Hits the flagpole, and then it's knocked out of play. That was close to a corner kick opportunity. And it'll be a goal kick as a result. Good pressure. Out is Dobrats. Endless energy there. She'll take a break there. I didn't see who came in for replacing.
Restart the goal kick.
Kick it back now. And Mao drifts it to the side. That's the Nordquist. Andover throughout this season, again, they had a nice 4-0 win over Duluth East in their season opener. It's a tourney that they play each year between 4 teams every year up in Duluth. To start the season, they took their lone loss thus far. That was the Rosemount. Rosemount may very well be the best team in the state. Coach Grease probably feels they'll remain number 1 as they are right now ranked as well. A lot of returning lettermen from last season as well. Now near side, here comes the Huskies. Andover trying to make a move into the middle there, crossing, redirected out, and that's going to reward the Huskies with a corner kick. Their first corner kick here in the second half. Jorgensen will do the honors here. Cedar Jorgensen, she has 2 goals, 5 assists. Her sister picked up her first goal of the season in that first half. Palo is right there, trying to hold back the defender to see if they're going to drop a pass. A beautiful setup, crossing kick, just maybe a little off that goal line than they would like, and the header is sent wide by Andover, and a goal kick now will be in play for Blaine with 25 minutes remaining here in this contest. Still a 2-1 lead. Jumping back in for the Huskies, you see Lauren Wright, I believe, was one of them.
Chloe Voss had a chance for a header there and just off just a little bit early on it.
Sutherland now drops it back and receives it again. She's pretty much like the point guard for this Blaine team. Kicks it out, but missed on that pass to Stadden. Stadden was cutting to the right. She passed it to her left, but Stadden regains possession. Another case by Wright there to really just step in front and disrupt the flow that Stadden was about to take on. Far side of the field now. Sit through. Stadden will look to settle it. This will be the throw-in opportunity now for Blaine. As you can see, Stadden, as she gets that spacing, there's always kind of that key, channeling that takes place, the spacing of players and trying to channel the right players in those right spot. And here you could see, Jim, that Stadden is kind of seeing that develop.
Yep. Chloe Palo with very nice defensive play.
I kind of felt like a weather person with that description. You could see that front coming, channeling an emotion, and the front was moving in, and the Alberta Clipper then came in and disrupted that nice summer afternoon. But
you were a man of many talents, Joe, and everybody of our viewing audience knows that.
Deflected out, another throw in once again for Blaine, but they stay on this end of the ice, this end of the turf in the field. You're going to see an opportunity. There's Stadden now, looks to send a crossing attempt. No one there for the header, but Blaine still controls. Now an errant pass picked up. Wow, what quickness here. The Huskies close it up. Jorgensen tries to run through the defender. She loses control of the ball, and it's back in possession with Blaine. But that was the speed we saw that created that scoring opportunity for Jorgensen in that first half for Andover. That created her first goal of the season for Sky Jorgensen. Throw in on that far side of the field again here for Blaine, is getting ready to check in here. Andover is Ellie Fields.
Yeah, starting to feel a little bit of the momentum going on the Blaine side as it's that'll be your first corner too.
Boy, that almost hit the hand on that, and they'll get a corner. Blaine gets a look now officially at their first corner of the game, I believe. The set piece here, let's see what they can do with it. I wasn't sure if they were going to try to have Steadden try to hook it in or not. Meanwhile, good looking one, trying to elevate from that backdoor opportunity there, but diffused, didn't reach the goal, and back come the Huskies. On the run, full throttle, here they come. Dropping it in, there's Hudson. Puts it on the foot of Jorgensen. Through ball, now to Hudson. Hudson, drop pass, over, shot. Off the mark, just missing. Almost a tic-tac-toe combination as Sky Jorgensen, a chance for her second goal of the game, but well formulated and some impressive passing.
Yeah, very impressive, and it was just almost too open as Jorgensen just couldn't get the inside of the foot on it.
Tried to be just too perfect maybe on that. But on the throw in here, Huskies regain possession. Forging straight ahead. You can just see that Hudson speed. And she came in leading the squad here in scoring. 7 goals, 3 assists. Meanwhile, Dobrat second, 6 goals, 2 assists. The Huskies' 2 goals have not come from either of those players.
Yeah, we're going to have another yellow card on Lauren Wright.
Lauren Wright issued a yellow. And she's been playing just very tough. And, kind of stonewalling.
Yeah.
When you have that size and speed of a Steadden, she stepped into this role and it's been extremely impressive for the junior. Bella Schrader now comes in, and again, the squad has 3 seniors with a lot of experience in Voss, Palo, and Cedar Jorgensen, great leaders, as Coach Grease has mentioned. But now Blaine trying to step it up, kind of switching up their formations and at least some of their formulas on their set pieces. Moving around. Nian still trying to move it as the midfielder. This one's lofted high, kind of a miss kick there by Nordquist. Got under it, but not the depth she wanted. Pushing and forging her way. Whistle there.
It's called trying to get position with your hands.
Sky Jorgensen. And the free kick issued back to Blaine. Blaine looking to tie this up. This is really, we'd mentioned it had the intensity for such an early game in the season. More physical play, exchanging there, and we're going to get another yellow issued here. A red. No, they were given a red. So Jorgensen is out of the game.
Wow.
Jorgen out. That's going to leave the Huskies a player short for the next 20 minutes. We're about halfway through the second half.
Joe, I don't know what did you see it?
She was playing, I guess, with that issued the red. So we're going to get another look here on a replay. But this is critical because now you're going to play a player down for the remainder of this game. Sky Jorgensen, a junior who scored her first goal in the season in that first half. Gets a look at this one near the 18 and a header back on. And
Jorgensen hooked her arm and then threw her down.
Kind of hooked it. The momentum pulled her down. Good look. Thanks, Ryan, back at the studio for your help there. Also thanks to Trinity. She's been here as well. As a big help. Well, as I mentioned with TJ and Anna as well. But good pickup. Thanks a lot, Ryan. And there you saw the the red card, which means game ejection, and it means you'll be playing a player short for the remainder of this game. That will be the Huskies. They have a 2-1 lead. We're just under 20 minutes to go here in the second. Andover jumped out to the 2-0 lead. The lone goal here so far in the first 20 minutes. That's come on a penalty kick by Stadden, Kendall Stadden, as a result of a penalty that was whistled inside the goal box. But now the Huskies punching up their own, trying to get by the defense there. Good try by Knefley.
It's going to be a corner,
at the end there. No calls.
Yeah, you can see that
They
this is a
They
rival.
will call that, so it's going to be a corner opportunity.
Yep. It is a fierce rivalry that's kind of boiling over right now.
Jorgensen is there, along with Bella Schrader. Hoffman back in. Alicia Hoffman, she had her first goal of the season in that first half. It was the first goal of the game and gave the Huskies a 1-0 lead. She's back in. Schrader looks to be doing the corner. Good corner. Kind of bananaed way out beyond the goal box and drifted beyond the 18, deflected on goal, and Way has it there. 17 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the second half. Again, Huskies player Sky Jorgensen whistled for the red card, which is an ejection for her, and also that means the Huskies. That happened with about 20 minutes, almost exactly at the halfway mark of the second half, Jim. So what that comes to is an opportunity here for Blaine to play with a player advantage.
And we're going to see a lot more substitutions as trying to keep those legs fresh.
Stocky getting ready to come back in, as is Voss. Also joining him up there is Palo. At the 18, redirected back out and see if Blaine changes anything formation-wise or attack-wise. There's a chance for Stedden. She's going to race to that, tries to knock it free just as it goes into the midsection of Mao, and Mao stays poised and pulls it in. The junior keeper came into this contest with a goals against of .73. Meanwhile, Way came into this contest with a goals against of 0. That's right, Blaine had not allowed a goal in the first 3 games of the season and allowed 2 in the first half here to Andover. Hence the 2-1 lead. A whistle on the foul there by Stadden gave the Huskies a free kick. And then they turn it over here on a possession.
Chloe
Stocky's
Pelto
now in, and back in is Newby. I'm sorry, Jim.
Yeah. Stocky, Voss, and Newby all in. Along with, it looked like Chloe Palo will be back on defense.
Well, Coach Grease had mentioned, hey, this is an experienced team with a lot of depth, and they're going to look for that right now. As they'll play a player down. They have been since midway mark of the second half, and we're approaching the 15-minute mark, and Blaine turns it over. Cedar Jorgensen, 2 goals, 5 assists, and brings that leadership, the senior, back onto the field. Getting a breath of Knefley, Morgan Knefley. Throwing down the line. Controlled at midfield. Blaine had it momentarily there. Huskies do a great job, just as I mentioned before, diffusing many of those runs up the field by Blaine. Stadden now looking for a through ball. That had a little too much velo on it for Stadden to catch up with it.
Good job on keeping that offsides line by the Huskies.
Got it. And it's also that angle of the run that Stadden didn't have there. She was running straight, and they whistled it right by. You can see that they continue to look to get her that through ball or try to get her a one-on-one matchup. Off the foot of Blaine, and that's off the foot of Newby. It'll throw in here awarded. Schrader. Moving a good footwork again there for Hoffman. Now moving it up. Here comes Kendall Stadden. Now she turns on the burners. Moving it in. Trying to close it up. Puts it far post and just misses it. She chipped at it inside of that foot and tried to go far post on that shot. It went under the extended arms there of Mao, but it was just wide.
Yeah, good job by Mao to cut off that angle.
You can see how she can kick on that next gear, Jim, for Stadden. It looks more casual. She gets the spacing. She kicks it in another gear, and she got just enough spacing. A dangerous opportunity. However, Huskies able to avert. They still have the 2-1 lead. Miss on that pass, and Sutherland will throw in for Blaine. Hughes comes back in for Blaine, and back out now is going to be Torgerson. Stadden controls, now sets it across to Nean. Nean, backhand pass, moves it in, fakes the shot, kicks it out wide, just inside the 18. A shot just off the mark, trying to go far post. I'm not sure if they were looking for a rebound or maybe thought they had a teammate streaking on that far side on a through. So you can see Blaine starting to get kind of a cadence, a flow going here as they Huskies playing a player down here for the next 12 minutes of this game. They still have a 2-1 lead. Should a tie occur, it would be 2 5-minute periods that would take place. Not sudden death, just 2 5-minute segments, and then no shootout. But right now, in the here and now, Jim, we're seeing Blaine trying to take it up a notch. And right about now, especially in this heat, you start to feel that sense of being a player down.
Yeah, like you said, you've got 11 minutes left, and Blaine is starting to get their legs about them. Huskies need to stay aggressive. They
Still 83 degrees, and when you're on that turf, it's a lot warmer.
Yes, it is.
I know when I slept there at night. Not so much during the night and under the moon, but here we go through, and Blaine steps in front of a free ball there and sends it back upfield. But Blaine's going to have to start doing a little bit more than just sending it back up the field, as they have. You've seen them kind of start to get a flow going here late here in this second half. A couple of good scoring opportunities, a huge opportunity for Stadden and Blaine to tie this up just a couple minutes ago, but she was just missed that far post. Now the Huskies move it on down, drift it to the top of the 18, and Blaine just kicks it out of play. It'll be a throw in for Andover. Schrader getting ready for the throw in. They tap her on the shoulder. She'll take the bench with an 83-degree temperature out there. Also out right now for Andover's taking a seat as Fields. So they get back in there with Swenson. And a free kick awarded to Blaine. So single digits left here in this contest. 9 minutes, 43 seconds. Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs. And girls high school Soccer is the first match I've been able to cover all season thus far.
And it's a good one. I mean, this is
Extremely
two top
competitive.
10. So, and a rivalry.
Quick shot there by Stadden, and now Nian tries to extend the play. Rebound and extend it there and moved out to the far side, but not controlled by Blaine. Now here comes Andover. A through ball. Settles, trying to get to it. Finally does. A big blast shot that's deflected and off the mark. But boy, Dobrats that time was really putting some moves on, trying to be first to that ball. You could just tell how that brain clicks. She wasn't settling to stand behind. She was going to get to it. She did, and that effort led to another corner kick. I have this as the 7th corner kick of the game for Andover. These set pieces are critical. Jorgensen. Cedar getting ready to approach this corner. She sets it up, chips at it right at the goal piece. A header coming through, just missing, elevating, and just mistimed. That header was Andover coming in from that back door. Deflected up after a collision by Newby. And the Huskies, that was their best corner opportunity.
Yes.
Of the afternoon. They take it down low, and they're going to be happy with it down low. Anytime they can stay on the offense and in the Blaine end of the field. With the 2-1 lead, but down a player after the red card. This one's lofted to the opposite side of the 18. Deflected off, and it's going to be another corner kick for the Huskies.
The Huskies are opportunistic right now. They're allowing, and they seem to be really a player down. Seem to be really the aggressor.
Huskies trying to make it 3 wins in a row. They defeated Totino Grace, and then they also defeated Coon Rapids last Wednesday, 13-0. Their next game, by the way, for the Huskies will be at Shakopee on Saturday. Corner approach. Near the goal box. Some interference, redirected, gathering it in, trying to get possession. Unable to do so. Huskies put a shot wide of the mark. Under 7 to go.
It looks like that was Chloe Voss that hit the side of the net. Great opportunity. They're starting to really get some traction on these corner kicks.
Well, you know, they're keeping it right where they need to, right on that goal box, right on the line of the goal box. It's huge. Anderson back in now for Blaine, some fresh legs. They need some energy here because the Huskies have controlled play and possession. And they've been in the Blaine end now for a little over 2 minutes. Poking at it, pushing at Huskies. And Palo just send it out of play. 6 and change to go. Here in the second half. What feels like a postseason game, a sectional game intensity. Just the 4th game of the season for Blaine as they try to continue their unbeaten streak. And for the Huskies, their 5th game. Coming in with a mark of 3-1. Again, the lone loss for Andover, impressive, has been to Rosemont. And Rosemont definitely far and away one of those better teams in the state. Hence the reason they're ranked number 1. Now Huskies and Dobrats here trying to manipulate the ball and get control. Dobrats is whistled there, and it'll be a free kick. Any chance they can get. 5.5 to go. Blaine needs a goal to tie this up. Trying to get it to the 18. Now zigzagging in front. Good job of coming back to help out for Andover because Newby was about ready to pull the trigger on a nice shot just inside the 18. Look out. Stadden has it here. Stadden trying to get possession. Now picking it up. Trying to settle a bouncing one, and that deflects out of play, and they're going to call a corner opportunity here for Blaine. You can just see
yes.
That size of Stadden, you know, and that strength and how she just tries to settle that ball and manipulate a shot.
Nordquist, another good job on defense marking her. And the second corner kick by the Bengals.
One-timer there on the shot by Nian. Inside the goal box. Put it away. Goal scored, and we're tied up. Stadden buries it back of the net. 2-2. on the goal by Blaine. A lot of traffic, a lot of loose change inside that 6. And that is so tough for a keeper to try to find the ball, get to the ball, and smother it or get a hand on. But there you saw what makes Stadden so tough is she gets great position, finds the right spot, and buried that one back of the net past Mo. And we are knotted up at 2 apiece. Finally, Blaine able to take advantage of the red card and the ejection of player number 20, Jorgensen.
She's a weapon. She is just, when she's down low, she is a weapon.
Let's see if Huskies can counter. 2 goals for Andover in that first half. Blaine has put up 2 of their own. 1 a penalty kick, and they both come from the foot of Stadden, who now has 5 goals on the season.
Yeah, and just a reminder, the Huskies are down 1 player, which is not helping the offense.
The last game that Blaine had was a 2-0 win over Centennial. Guess who scored those 2 goals?
Number 10?
Yahtzee. You're right. So Kendall Stadden has scored the last 4 goals of the season here for Blaine, and she's tied this up late. 2-2 with just under 4 minutes to go. 3 minutes, 45 seconds. Lifted high. Now, moving it upfield. Stadden nicely blocked there. Gets another rip at it and sends it deep into the Andover end, but it is roll out of play. Jorgensen, redirect. She is shadowed closely there by Carly Anderson. Huskies reverse the field, send it down the near line, and now Blaine gets there first and sends it out of play.
Urgency on both sides right now. Obviously, the advantage goes to Blaine, who has momentum and 1+ players.
2.5 we are approaching left in this contest. It has been 2 goals by Blaine and Stadden here in the second half, which has tied it up. One of the goals, a penalty kick. She's just tough when there's activity around that goal, and someone with her ability is dangerous anywhere near the 18, not to mention the goal box. Quick substitution, seeing if they can get it in next whistle here, would be Blaine. We try to get in Walraven. Stadden went down. I think she thought there was going to be a whistle. They play through, but Andover has it. A kick that goes off of Stadden, and it'll be a throw-in. Throw in for Andover. We are under 2 minutes. 1 minute, 45 seconds remaining. Down the line, good hustle. Busting it through. Here come the Huskies on a rush. A chance now. They take it near the goal line. They're going to get a corner. That's Jorgensen. I'll tell you, she manufactured that corner kick and that scoring opportunity. Jorgensen, a chance with this corner kick. We are at 1 minute, 20 seconds left. We're tied 2-2. Huskies approaching. Here comes Jorgensen. Her last 2 corners have been excellent. This one matches that. Stadden elevates, sends a header just to the top of the 18. Huskies try to regain possession, and it's cleared and sent out of play, and we'll have a throw-in with less than a minute to go. 1 minute remaining. We're tied 2-2. Blaine, currently 3-0 and ranked number 5 in the state, taking on the Huskies at 3-1. Blaine gets there first, sends it out of play with 40 seconds. Quick throw in for Andover. By the time they get a throw in here by Swenson, it'll be about 35 seconds remaining. Trying to find a gap to get it in deep. It's header back out. A big kick way outside. Now deflected at the 18, trying to settle, pull the trigger. Doret's there. Doesn't get what she wants on it, but hustling and always dangerous around that ball is Jorgensen. Clearing, and now out of play. Throw-in comes with 13 seconds left. Throw it back in at 6 seconds now. 5, 4, one last big boot. Hopefully, nope, it's going to go on Newby's foot, and we are going to have an overtime. 2-2 tie. We'll go to overtime. We're going to have 2 5-minute quarters, or periods rather, in which they'll play both 5 minutes. It's not a sudden death. And if that ends up as a tie, the game ends up as a tie. So we are ready for that, as the Huskies jumped out 2-0, and that red card may have come back to take a toll on an exhausted Husky squad.
Defensive laps that they're going to take 3 minutes in between these the period, or before the start of the overtime. But the laps, defensive laps that allow that penalty kick, really started it. I mean, it was early in the second half where Staten had that penalty kick, and she made no mistake about it. You knew it was going to go in, and then again, her size down there. And let's not forget the header that she was able to get the ball, clear the ball with on the last corner kick. So she's been on both sides of the.
I mean, hey, a big difference too. We talked about it all. The corner kicks. I believe the Huskies ended up with, I want to say, almost 9 or 10 corner kicks.
Yep.
And the more they got, the more proficient they really became. Jorgensen, it was like an alley-oop, setting it right up next to that rim, but right at the top, right at the goal box, top of the goal box. And almost capitalizing a couple of times, but then it was a corner kick for Blaine. They only had 3 the whole game, but the last one was a difference maker. They put it inside the goal box, ricocheted that around. That had to just be a killer for Mao, because she's played so well. Just wants to get to that ball, but getting to it first was Staden, who buried it back of the net to tie it up. So
the Huskies really came out strong, really strong, aggressive play in the first half that led to 2 goals, Hoffman and Sky Jorgensen.
Yep, and that's a matchup. So also tonight, one of the big key games going on is Rosemont is taking on Stillwater. Stillwater's ranked number 3 in the state, and Rosemont for that one. But here we go, extra bonus.
I thought what's interesting, Joe, is not a lot of late conference in the top 10. I saw Edina there, Edina and Wayzata. I guess Edina and Wayzata and Minnetonka. So never mind, whatever I said, just disregard, I guess. But
hey, it's a great set. I mean, this will be the Northwest Suburban Conference, maybe one of their better seasons, but they're used to getting a lot of teams that are always in the top 3 or 4. But even more so this season, you're seeing that. And the fact that Andover is not even in the top 10 yet is an indication that there's some depth, because I got to think, unless they take a loss to Shakopee, their performance here today certainly puts them back into that top 10, certainly where they belong. So back on the field, Huskies will be moving left to right as these teams get geared up. Next game, by the way, for Blaine, they'll be playing Maple Grove. Doesn't get any easier. They play them on Thursday. Maple Grove on Thursday at Blaine High School. Meanwhile, Andover travels to Shakopee. They have a 2 o'clock game on Saturday slated. So we're ready to go at midfield. 2-2 tie. This is not sudden death. They're going to play 2 5-minute segments here. They'll switch sides of the field at the end of 5. And we are ready to go. Hudson has possession here, drops it back. A high, long kick here. Swenson headers back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen, like a magician with that ball. Back down to Hudson. Hudson has 2 assists. Hudson has now 7 goals and 5 assists. Stadden that time tried to get by. Andover unable to do so, but the ball goes off of Andover. Throw in awarded to Blaine. This is going to go back to Sutherland, who does a throw in for Blaine. Free kick awarded here. Addie Stadden, who's a freshman, also number 21, getting a lot of playing time here in the second half. For Blaine. Now a free kick for Jorgensen. Let's see if she tries to go far post as the Huskies start at about the 18. Possession there goes to Blaine, but Blaine deflects it, puts it right back to Andover in a high bouncing slow kick that's in possession of Wayne. That was Way has it there. A punt. 3 minutes, 30 seconds to go in this, the first overtime. Defensive, good hustle. Now busting in. Here comes Hudson. Hudson is whistled after she unleashes that kick.
Yeah, she was up across the line and came back to receive the ball.
And at that time, too, sometimes your defenders will move up, and then it's offside.
Yep. Kind of jump the route.
On the Huskies. Under 3 to go. Thanks for joining us on this QCTV sports presentation, and it's a spectacular evening for soccer here at Andover High School, and a 2-2 tie. A couple of stubborn and talented teams. Neither are going to give up. Blaine attempting to stay perfect on the season. They're currently at 3-0, and Andover looking to improve to 4-1. Moving it up. Baumhauer there, a little dancing with the stars. Bounces it across. Still trying to find it, heads it, puts it right there on the foot of Hoffman. Hoffman been playing a strong game. She drops it back there for Swenson. Swenson now sends it down the line. The also dangerous Hudson, and she's knocked down to the ground. It'll be at least a corner kick. It is a corner kick. Coming over is Jorgensen. And they're going to give her the kick from the point of that contact. So it's not going to be exactly from the corner. It's just outside the 18 by about 5 yards. So here we go. Opportunity, 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining in this first overtime. Jorgensen chips at it. Trying to get there first and put the header, but Blaine gets there first. Jorgensen maneuvers around. Nice job, then puts a shot on and tried to sneak that under the garage door to Jorgensen. Good footwork, good finesse, and put a good shot on after the initial header back out by Blaine. 1 minute, 10 seconds left as Way sends it near center field. At midfield, controlling it there is Baumhauer.
Joe is excited. It's very tough not to be a hockey guy in Andover.
That it is. That it is. And Stadden drops it back. Blaine trying to make a push right now. They'll make a run, trying to get it wide. Now they turn and fire way wide, but making a nice diving catch that time was Mao. 35 seconds left. Mao will take the punt and send it near midfield. Jorgensen holds off a defender there, and Hudson has it. A rush up now to Hoffman. Hoffman stops, reverses. Now continues her way in, puts a hard bouncer there, and no traffic in front. Easy and secures that save, does Wade. With 6 seconds remaining, we are getting set for the second overtime session. They're going to reverse fields and get it going for the second overtime session, 2-2.
Well, that first overtime, it looks like the Huskies have the legs that Blaine does not. You know, you see them just be a little bit more aggressive.
Schmidt comes on, and Schmidt, I got to tell you, she is quicker than a hiccup. Elizabeth Schmidt, always involved in the mix, explosive type of player. The type of player you want out there is kind of that sweeper, but also just can win that race to the ball, and fresh legs here. Comes in. Blaine controls right now at midfield. They had possession to start the second overtime section. Kind of what we expected, really. A very competitive, evenly matched squad. Two of them here getting at it, and they're tied 2-2 in the second overtime session.
And one of the more physical soccer games.
You're right, Jim. Has been extremely physical. Part of that resulting in a red card.
And 3 yellows for the
3 yellows as well.
For the Huskies.
Game misconduct there was given. An ejection to Sky Jorgensen. That happened with 20 minutes left in the second half. The tying goal came about 5 minutes left in regulation, and that was the second goal by Stadden. She scored her first and Blaine's first early in the second half on a penalty kick. 5 goals now on the season for Stadden, and Blaine tries to settle the ball with 3.5 to go. Good header disrupting that. Schmidt trying to get out in front. Nordquist, a left foot kick, floats in the air, chipped at, and now down the line. Swenson sends it out. It'll be a throw in for Blaine. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go in this second overtime session. Thanks for joining us.
Smart decision by Swenson not to try to pass it back to Nordquist.
Sutherland now has it. And reverse in the field are the Bengals. Bengals come in with that 3-0 mark their last outing. They had a 2-0 win over a Centennial team, a team that's ranked currently number 6 in the state. Blaine currently 5. Andover moves it up, disrupted, gets a foot. Huskies still with it, sending it back. Now controlled there by Baumhauer. Baumhauer sends it down the field, trying to find an open alley and perhaps an open teammate. Blaine now has it back. This kick coming from behind. Enough to have it deflect off of her was Dobratz. And a throw in now for Sutherland. And Blaine approaching the 2-minute mark. Here's some loose spacing. Jorgensen, ever so dangerous, trying to channel her way in. Closely guarded there by 11 for Blaine, and that is in Hughes. She kicks it out, throw in awarded here for the Huskies.
Yeah, over the last probably 15 minutes, Jorgensen has really been the MVP, the offensive spark.
A header back out of play. Blaine waiting for a substitution here, trying to get back in number 7, and Newby. 1.5 remaining, and it's knocked back out again on a header by Blaine. Throw in again for the Huskies. Second session of overtime here. We're tied at 2-2. Both teams exchange 2 goals each. Now a chance. Here comes Blaine, far side, trying to create some spacing. Good play by Nordquist. Just in the right spot. Stays poised in the right spot. Strong on that ball. And Nordquist sends it up near midfield. Diffusing a scoring opportunity there for Blaine. And here comes Stadden. Stadden unleashes one and gloved. Grabbed there. Pulled the trigger from about the 35-yard line. Did Stadden. It landed. Got there all the way, but seen it all the way and securing the save. was Mao. Haley Mao. 35 seconds left. It's going to have to be a run here at the last minute to get a winner. Taken down, we'll have a whistle, and now it's going to be a free kick. They stopped the time.
Another yellow card for delay of game. And that'll be on Elizabeth Schmidt.
So Schmidt comes out, and replacing Schmidt, Stocky coming in. So this is how it's set. It's going to be a free kick with 27 seconds remaining for Blaine at about the 25-yard line. We're tied at 2-2. All eyes are going to be on number 10 and Stadden. How can she get possession? That could create an opportunity for a teammate. Sending it up to the 18. A header. Deflected. Now 20 seconds left. Huskies get there first, but kick it right into Blaine. Blaine had to move it along, and the Huskies are out of bounds, and a throw in now awarded to Blaine with 10 seconds left. They try to put it down the line, and now they're quick throw it. Coming away with 5 seconds for Blaine. Stadden has a shot. Nope, can't pull the trigger on it, and we will end in a tie. Wow, what a battle here, Jim. 2-2 tie. Huskies went up 2-0 in that first half. And then it was Blaine who countered with 2 of their own in the second half, and neither team could put one in the net and get it by the goalie here in the 2 overtime session.
Yeah, if you're Blaine, I think you feel lucky that you're walking away with a tie. If you're Andover, I think you're feeling a little like let down that you didn't win, because there was definitely some chances, and a couple of those, one of those goals at least, could have been avoided, or at least probably made it a little bit more difficult. But congratulations to both teams. Great game. Unbelievable game this early in the season.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us. Both teams represent some great soccer going on at the high school level. You'll see these teams in the top 10 throughout the season. Huskies and Blaine tied at 2-2. The Huskies now go to 3-1-1. Meanwhile, Blaine remains undefeated. They are at 3-0-1. Thanks for joining us on this QCTV sports presentation. I'm Joe Rowland, along with Jim Childs, along with Anna, and also TJ and Trinity, and also with Ryan back in the studio. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a Major League evening at our minor league price. One more matchup coming for the boys here after this.